Hey, welcome back, YouTube. So I hope you guys just watched the first video of the Andrew Jackson Old Hickory series. And I just showed you guys the large size notes, the 1907 legal tender, as well as a 1914 Federal Reserve note. So with that being said, I wanted to kind of stick with the theme here and show you the rest of Old Hickory's notes, all the way up to pretty much current day, and some of the smaller size notes that I have. So without further ado on this one, let's go ahead and get started. And see if I can get it out of the doggone light there. Maybe, maybe not. All right, there we go. That's a little bit better, huh? So what you got here is a 1928. This is a gold certificate, small size gold certificate. Decent note. This is probably about a VF grade, I'd say. This is actually an eBay purchase I got from a pretty popular dealer on there. But anyhow, so old Andrew Jackson, he finally made it to the 20, guys. 1928 was the first year of the small size currency that we have, as many of you guys know. And he went up from the 5, the 10, up to the 20, and they finally replaced him with that. And he still currently resides on it today. He got a little threat last 2016, I think it was, when President Obama was saying that they're going to be replacing him with Harriet Tubman. And then that was supposed to happen actually this year, but President Trump postponed that until further notice. So anyhow, Old Hickory is holding out and keeping his spot on the 20 for a while. So yeah, man, pretty cool note though. These things are really popular, these gold certs, and they're not all that expensive. They do not have the gold backs like the large size currency does, the large size gold certs. So that is one kind of turn off of them, but I love that gold seal there. And at one time, it's also super interesting because when we went off the gold standard and it was illegal to own gold, it was illegal to own these gold certificates. So pretty fascinating. But I mean, relatively, it looks almost the same as the small size Federal Reserve gold certificate notes. Not much different besides, the serial number color and the location of it and that gold cert clause. A couple other differences with, gold there on the left and the border. But other than that, it kind of looks very, very similar. You'll see with the more modern ones, if you would. So I love that note. All right, well, also issued in 1928 was Federal Reserve notes, guys. Actually, they were issued in 1914, which the video I just showed before this, when we established our Federal Reserve Bank in America in 1913 from that act. But it carried over when we started making Federal Reserve notes on small size notes in 1928. This was the first year series of that. So this is mine. I do have the 20. The borders are all not that great, but I got this for really cheap. I mean, this is AU, I'd say, potentially even a slighter unk. I don't think so though. Probably it has some handling on it and a couple of markings on the back, but for the price I paid for this thing, not too much over face value, put it that way. I don't know why people weren't bidding on it. At first I thought it might have been counterfeit, so I took it to a number of different dealers, did my own inspection on it. You can feel the embossing, you can see the intaglio presses and how detailed it is underneath a very 10 power loop. So we all concluded that it was in fact authentic. And actually, the ink is just really, really dark, as you guys can see here, especially on the borders, which is super awesome, and on the portrait there of Old Hickory. But so comparing this with others in hand that are around the same grade, definitely looks like this. So that was really, really cool. This is a Cleveland district, and one thing you notice there, you see that seal on the left? It's a 4, it's a numerical district. So this was only done in 1928. They actually swapped it as well to the current way that we have with the letter designation instead of the numeral. So these are really, really popular. This series in general, guys, the 1928 series of small size notes, in my opinion, it's a sleeper series right now. These are well affordable and high grade, and it's only a matter of time as they get older that they'll end up going up in value, I believe. Mainly one because of the numero district there, as well as this gold clause, this redeemable in gold on demand at the United States Treasury, or in gold or lawful money at any Federal Reserve Bank. So that is just such a super cool clause, and I think this is a sleeper series, guys. I think this will end up doing well, these notes. But interestingly, this note was redeemable for the same Liberty Head, double gold, double Liberty Head double eagle, as well as a St. Gaudens double eagle back in the day, which is kind of interesting, right? You have a gold certificate that was strictly for gold per se, but you also have a Federal Reserve note that was redeemable in gold. So really, really cool. Once we went off the gold standard, the next series in 1934, these were not redeemable in gold anymore. And I do not have an example of that in the $20 denomination, but that is that. The next note here, really nice note here, guys. This is a $20 Hawaii note, Federal Reserve note. And yeah, this is the emergency money that was issued during World War II. As I've mentioned in my $1 videos about the 1, the 5, the 10, and the 20 were all the different denominations. I have the 1 and the 20, and you can see that seal changed from a numeral value like that to a letter value. But anyways, so this was intended with these brown seals that if we were invaded by the Japanese in Hawaii, essentially they would be null and void, and they can just basically demonetize them. So that's very, very interesting and highly collectible, these guys here, especially if you can get ones in star notes, which is what I'm trying to acquire, the $5 one, but it's very expensive, even in crappy condition. But anyways, so no fancy serial or anything like that, just a Hawaii 20, but great condition. I acquired this from the same eBay dealer. I think it's Cabanos, I want to say, is his last name, Mr. Cabanos. But I acquired that gold cert, and I also acquired this one for about the same price, actually. And this one's, I'd say, a good XF, maybe even a little bit higher. Very, very nice note, though, guys. All right, and then we'll flip the reverse here. An interesting thing on the reverse, besides that big Hawaii stamp, not much difference, right? Here's a gold certificate. It's got the White House there. Same as we got the White House on our 20s currently. Here's that 1928 series. So I was telling you, it's got a couple of little marks and stuff up by the flag and above the building, but still a very nice note, guys, for the price I paid. Look at the embossing on the serial number coming through right there. Super cool note. I think it was just like a random time that the auction ended. It was really late, I remember. And I just scooped in this, and the starting price of it was higher than a starting bid of $1, which sometimes deters people from starting at that. But this note, if starting at, if you put it at a starting bid of $1, it would have sold more than what I paid for it, guaranteed. Guaranteed. But anyway, so that's that. And then here's the Hawaii note. Look, you can see the big fat Hawaii stamped on there. Look at that. That's a nice note, guys. I got a pretty dang good deal on this too. I actually bought the two at the same time, the gold cert and this, and I've worked with Cabanos for a while now. I hope I'm not butchering that, but anyways, I've worked with him for a while, and he's always given me pretty good deals. So those are those. Then we're gonna move over to show you the my only national currency I have. There's some straight cults out there of national currency collectors, especially small size and large size for that matter. But there's a whole slew of different ways to actually collect them anywhere, you know, within your region that you live in. I mean, you name it, you can collect them that way. But anyways, I'm not going to spend too much time on these. If you want to see more, go back to my Baltimore Goodies video. I've actually posted that. That's where I picked this up with the Whitman Coin Show last fall. And so that is my $20 national currency. And then this was just an old bank find. This is what I was telling you, that the gold cert and the 28 and stuff hasn't changed all that much, guys. I mean, it looks relatively the same. So it doesn't have the gold and the little border kind of twirl thing right there. But and then the seal moved over. And actually on the 28, it was already there, right? I'm talking about the gold seal on the gold certificate. But yeah, I mean, other than that, not much change even to these ones. And I'm a big fan of these old 20s right here. Again, you don't see these all that often in circulation anymore. Every time I can get them at the bank, if they're in decent shape like this, I will definitely hold on to them. Even, you know, they're not worth much over premium at all right now. In the future, they very well could be. So that's that. And then lastly, moving down the line of our $20 old Hickory, kind of historical descent here, if you would. This is the large head non-colorized is what I call it. Pretty good little serial number there too, guys. Check that out. Quad zero's leading in. If that 2 wasn't there, that was a 0. That'd be a very nice note. And this thing is gem crisp, uncirculated, probably a 66, maybe a 67 even. Super, super nice. And guess what? Paid about $3 for it over face value. About $3. I'll take $3 over this thing any day. Any day with that quad zero leading serial number like that. So that's cool. I actually like these ones a lot. I like this style, and I also like this style quite a bit too. I like the big head and the way they portray Jackson's hair and stuff like that. I think they did a really good job. These were kind of too short-lived in my opinion, and I'm not a fan of the new currency whatsoever. Really any of the colorized currency, but especially the 20. I think I like this one a lot better. But anyways, and then we'll just give you the old flip real quick. So on the back of the National, same thing as the others, guys. Same thing as those over there. Nothing really changed, right? And just the White House still. On the back of the, I think this is, I forget which year series this was, the one in the 90s that I just showed you, but not much change. They filled it in a little bit more. You can see the bushes and stuff like that. See how much white space is in between the bushes and the border. And look at down here, it's a lot less, right? So they kind of emphasized that more and expanded a lot of that. So pretty cool. And then here's where they did the biggest change. This was the first kind of large change notes from our small size currency that we did, was this new generation notes. And like I said, I like these notes a lot, guys. But that is it. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go back and watch part 1 if you haven't, see the 2 large size Andrew Jackson notes. And until next time, Silver Surfer is out.